listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I'm Faith.
Faith, do we have any patrons to thank?
We do. We've got Evelyn M.
Evelyn, thank you.
And Justin.
Justin, thank you so much.
Y'all are great. Thank you so much.
Hey, listeners, I have someone very important for you to meet. Someone magical and adorable and wonderful. And you're going to love him. And his name is Gaysper.
Gaysper.
Faith, what do you know about Gaysper?
I know Gaysper is a homosexual ghost.
Yes.
And I know that, why don't you tell me the background?
Okay.
I know it was created for a political campaign in Europe.
Correct. Here's the story of Gaysper. This is based on a BuzzFeed News article by Lauren Strapiegel, link down below. When trying to speak out against LGBT activism, a far-right political party in Spain accidentally made a star out of a little rainbow ghost. It started with this tweet from Vox, that's V-O-X, Vox, a party known for opposing immigration, abortion, same-sex marriage, and Islam, among other things. And the tweet is in Spanish, but translated, I believe, means, let's start the war. Que comience la battaglia. I pronounce that like it's Italian. Mm-hmm. And there's an image. In the tweet, Vox's logo is placed over Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings as he faces off against an army, except instead of orcs and whatnot, he's facing images symbolizing feminism, Marxism, anti-fascists, and other typical lefty ideologies. Aside from being generally ripe for mockery, the tweet also, for some reason, chose to represent LGBT issues with an adorable, smiling, rainbow ghost.
Gaysper!
Gaysper! And he is so cute. He's either laughing or a little bit mad. Everyone else decided to name him Gaysper. The gay community has adopted him.
Gay Casper. It's a portmanteau.
Gay Casper. Mm-hmm. He has been immortalized by Netflix Spain. He has a Twitter account of his own, link down below. A lot of friends in the LGBT community. And while Gaysper had the rainbow stripes, other versions have been made, including the bisexual one, the asexual one, the lesbian one, and of course, the transgender Gaysper.
Yep.
Which brings us to our question today. Faith gave me the greatest birthday gift of all time by custom designing a Gaysper t-shirt for me.
I gotta say, first of all, actually the greatest birthday gift of all time, Kath got me tickets to adult space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. At the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center. I grew up loving space and NASA and all things like that, and I wanted to be an astronaut. And my sister and I used to watch the movie Space Camp like all the time. Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to go to space camp, but I never could because it's expensive and shit. So Kath got me that, and I'm going to go in January.
I will allow you to say that is the second best birthday gift ever.
Second best.
Because you can't wear Space Camp to the salon and have people be like, oh my god, I love your shirt. Oh. I want to take a photo of that, please.
Okay, fine. So mine was the best birthday gift ever for Kath.
Mine was the best birthday gift ever from Faith. So I have a Gaysper t-shirt.
I made her a transgender Gaysper t-shirt with a little bit of photoshopping and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She found how to send an image to a t-shirt company and blah, blah, blah. And now I have a Gaysper t-shirt, and it's a transgender Gaysper with the blue and pink and white stripes, and it is adorable, and I love it. But is it okay for me to wear it?
Okay, yes. Simple answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're showing your support for trans people, and that's awesome. Slightly more complex answer. Are you potentially outing me if I'm hanging out with you and you're wearing a trans Gaysper shirt?
So, okay, think about that. You're walking down the street, you pass a couple, one is wearing something with the trans flag and one isn't wearing something with the trans flag. What do you assume? Do you assume the person wearing it is the trans person?
I don't know.
Or both are trans or neither are trans? Like, what is it? What is the message?
This is something that I've actually kind of have been not quite sure how to address in my own life, because I remember going to being in Philadelphia for the Philly Trans Wellness Conference. And there's like a bajillion pieces of transgender merchandise. Like I got a little trans beanie hat,
You did.
like a winter hat. I got a bunch of trans buttons and things.
I got the belt.
You got the belt and a lot of
Many pens.
Yep. And so I was like, okay, I wanted to get the transgender socks, like the knee highs.
Oh, yeah.
Or not knee high, but like thigh highs. Like the transgender thigh high. Like,
and they got the pink blue stripes all the way up the leg, and they're horizontal stripes. And
And I'm like, am I just outing myself as trans if I'm wearing this stuff? Like a part of me is like, yeah, I want to be like out and proud and stuff. But another part of me is like, I also kind of want to blend in. I have on my jacket, I have a few buttons on my jacket. I got a Letters to Cleo button or a Diet Sig button, just some
bands
female bands, female fronted bands. And I also have a transgender flag pin, like a button.
And it's just the circle, and it has the stripes on it.
Yeah, and so I wear that. And a part of me is like, am I outing myself with that? And I think a big part of it is that everyone knows the rainbow flag.
Correct.
Like, I think everyone knows that. That's a big one.
Everyone we encounter. Yeah.
Everyone we encounter. And I think the rainbow flag, because of marketing, we did a whole episode about corporate shit and pride.
Sure.
And we're still contemplating doing Quiet Pride.
Still contemplate. We got to find a venue. We got to do some research. But if there are any event planners in New York, just hit us up. Please take this off our hands. We'll go. We'll hype it.
I will help. I love planning events. I've done it professionally. I enjoy the hell out of it. But
quiet, chill, cool pride.
I just had my face cut off, my bones ground down, my skull ground down and broken, and then my face stapled back onto my head. Kathleen, I am dealing with some shit.
I have had a hell of a month.
I've had a bit of a month. I have not spent much time researching, but I kind of like the idea of Quiet Pride. But anywho, so Pride is like one time you can wear these. And thanks to corporate sponsors and everything, everyone knows the rainbow flag.
Yes.
But I feel like the other flags are kind of a mystery to people.
I think you're right.
And I think most non-LGBTQ people, or especially woke people, like see all these flags and I think they roll their eyes.
Really?
Like the same way they'll be like LGBTQ PRN37
IAATS asterisk.
And then we're supposed to, and they're like ha ha ha. So I think they see these flags and like roll their eyes and they're like, ugh, everyone needs a flag. And I'm like, yeah, because flags are awesome.
Flags are great.
Vexicologically, come on, who doesn't want a flag? I design flags for fun. So of course.
But that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, but it's
like the best thing ever.
So you do
I want them to roll their eyes.
You do kind of get, I love it. I think it's great. I don't know what you do if you have two flags, because like I mostly just use the trans flag or the gay flag, or the rainbow flag.
I think I've seen people just carry both, or have both tattoos, or have both buttons.
So I don't have
jacket.
A lesbian one, or like a lesbian, a trans, and a rainbow. I could have all three.
You could.
Yeah. So I like the flags and I like the pin, but I do. You got a belt at Philly. You got a trans belt. And you wore that a few times. And I remember I had to give you explicit permission to wear it. Why was that? Why did you feel like you couldn't wear it?
Because here's what I imagine happening. Someone recognizing what it means and responding to that. And I'm guessing that response would be, oh, are you trans? Or that response would be, I don't know what that response would be. Have you gotten a response from wearing your button?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
And I think most members of the public will know the rainbow flag. They're not going to know if you show up with a non-binary flag or a bisexual flag or an agender I don't know if there's an agender flag.
There
I'm
is.
sure there is.
Oh, yeah.
Or a ace flag or any of those things. I don't know that people are going to really necessarily know that. Like, I get 2 letters of LGBTQ, and I'm not 100% sure what all the flags are.
So once again, people only think of
like,
themselves.
I still need a chart.
So, okay. So this is good to know.
Yeah.
So just as you have bands, you have buttons about bands on your jacket.
Yeah.
That people, maybe they know about Diet Sig, but maybe they don't know about, what's another button you have?
Letters to Cleo.
Letters to Cleo. They'll look at your jacket, they'll ignore Letters to Cleo, and they'll say, oh, I was at the Diet Sig show last week, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Letters to Cleo is never going to enter their mind. They're never going to follow up on that because they don't know it and they don't care.
I think, honestly, the only times I've ever, like, looked at buttons, some people have that, like, one big button for, like, one issue.
Yeah.
You know?
It's usually Bernie.
And I've seen other things.
Okay.
But it's usually people who are more activist, and it's usually one button. Honestly, not Bernie for me, because I feel like Bernie was young men mostly, and I feel like the people I've seen with, like, the one button are usually, like, older women. And so I see, like, you know, band guns or something, and, like, it's an older woman who's just otherwise very prim and proper, who just has this big-ass button on.
That's what I'm going to be.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You got to choose that one button very carefully. So in general, I don't really notice unless I'm on the subway and I'm like not really looking at my phone or something, and I just see someone who's got buttons on there. I've seen trans ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you do like the secret
trans handshake? I can't tell you. You're cis.
No, I just want to know if you did it.
Dun, dun, dun. No.
You can't tell me. I know you can't tell me, and I respect that.
It's a secret trans ritual.
Of course.
All of our listeners, of course, know about the secret trans person.
Listeners.
Yeah, know about the secret trans rituals. At the trans temple.
I get it. There's stuff I'm not in.
Yeah. No, I of course, tend to be an introvert. I don't really want to call someone out on it. I might say, like, nice button.
Nice button.
At Pride, we talked to people who had trans flags and we're waving them and we're like, hey, nice flag. But in general...
Here's a sticker.
Yeah.
Listen to our podcast.
In general, I don't really notice it. And again, this is totally that whole thing we talk about when people are like, do I stand out in public and stuff? And it's just like, is anyone paying attention to anything outside their own life? Rarely.
Especially because they have phones.
Yeah.
They're reading the news on their phone.
Yes.
Or they're playing a game on their phone. Or they're watching a show on their phone. And as long as you don't take their parking space or bump into them or gesture rudely at them,
yeah,
nobody cares.
I think that's a big thing, is that no one cares. And I think even if people do care, like, even if they're like some awful Vox member or they belong to AfD in Deutschland or they're a Republican,
like if they're seeking someone,
even if they are, I don't think they're going to recognize a trans flag. Unless they're particularly like, I will memorize all the flags, which myself as a queer person I haven't even done. But they're like, I'm going to do it so in case I see a button I can fuck with someone, or in case I see a gas bar shirt.
Precisely target my hate at that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think so. Again, I think a lot of people might vote for this shit.
Yes.
You know, but
I
think
scared or stupid.
But the people who go out of their way to like cause problems with it or like promote it, that's fewer and far between. And
so for that reason, I can't think of any reason for our listeners and their allies, supporters, to not wear the trans flag button, wear a gay spar shirt.
I will say I had a weird feeling today. So I have, for those of you who don't know me very well, my favorite band is Garbage. Go listen to them. Just go to YouTube, look up Push It right now. And I have a Garbage t-shirt.
You're wearing
I'm
it
wearing
right
it
now.
right now. I was wearing it today to walk my dogs and stuff.
To our listeners.
It is the bathroom symbol.
The male-female?
The male-female bathroom, like the bathroom
you know
symbols.
Yeah.
And it is, like, basically one half vertically is the male side and one half is the female. So it's one figure that's kind of male/female, and it says Garbage, the name of the band below it, and the whole thing is, like, rainbow hued.
There is a gradient rainbow.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
And actually, I, like, wore this shirt on my Instagram, and the band retweeted me or put me on one of their Instagrams, and it was like Our Kind of People, which, if you know Garbage, is a reference to their 5th album.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it was great. And so I'm wearing this shirt today to walk my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I'm off work recovering from surgery.
Nice.
And so I'm still out walking my dogs. I still got to do that because
why pay the dog walker?
Why pay the dog walker? We did for like a little bit while I was like still really bad. But I was supposed to go out on walks. That was to help my lungs recover and to help my legs, to help keep blood clots from happening. So eventually, within a few days, we were like, I'll just walk the damn dogs because I'm supposed to go on walks anyway. So I was out walking them today wearing this shirt. And during the day, there's just a lot of like blue collar builders and things like out. Mm-hmm. And I was just and they're all clumped in little groups just chit chatting. And
mm-hmm.
I never really want to walk by them because I'm like, I don't know.
I get you.
So yeah, so I was like, I realized I was wearing this shirt and I'm like,
I'm wearing a rainbow shirt.
I'm wearing a rainbow shirt and I've
got all these bros from Queens and Staten Island.
Yeah. And so I was like, is this shirt gonna out me as trans?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also like, I took some pics today, went out and took some photos, so I did like some really fabulous makeup. And so I like come back home, switch clothes, still haven't washed off the makeup from today. I like it because it covers up my bruising.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. And so I've left the makeup on and I'm still going out walking and I'm like, I hope they don't see me and go, that person that's a man in, tiny jean shorts and a t-shirt. I don't know. But I don't know.
Did anyone say anything?
I don't think so.
Did anyone kind of
I'm always, you know me, if I walk by a group of people and I hear like a chuckle behind them, I'm like, oh no, they're laughing at me. And I don't even know they're laughing at me. They're talking about the game last night or whatever.
Yeah.
But a part of me always like assumes that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to get FFS, so I could just sort of not have to worry. So I can just kind of look, how I want to look without having to put effort into it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I find they look at the dogs or they don't pay attention at all. But I say that from my comfortable chair of cis privilege.
It is quite a comfortable chair.
It's a good chair.
I've
you guys
sat in
it
too.
Oh,
and
nice, huh?
yeah, but it's also like, I'm outing myself. But a part of me, it's the same thing that I talked about before. Like, even though I'm just got this FFS, I'm just slathering on makeup and looking fabulous. I think if you'd asked me 20 years ago what my goal is when I'm, transitioning, it's to be stealth. And as I've actually transitioned, I'm less interested in stealth and not quite necessarily always wanting to make every day about being trans, but like, I don't know, I'm not like ashamed of it. I was told my whole life I have to be ashamed of it. I was told my whole life that it was wrong. I was told that it was sinful and perverted and just made me an awful human being.
Oh, it did. You're totally going to hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I go down to hell, I rule it. As I said to one of our YouTube commenters, I'm not in league with Satan. Satan is in league with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a part of me is like, fuck it. I'll be out. Obviously, I have this privilege sitting here in Brooklyn recording this. Someone, down in Philomath, Georgia, or, Butte, Montana, may not have that privilege.
And if you're listening to us, we love you and we want to help you in every way we can.
So I still very much feel like I will always be worried about outing myself accidentally.
Because there's always a risk.
There's always a risk, but oftentimes I don't think about the button on the jacket. I don't think about the shirt I'm wearing. I know you got me a testosterone poisoning.
I survived testosterone poisoning, and there's a picture of the testosterone molecule.
And you got me that shirt, and I was deathly afraid to wear that shirt. Because I was like, that's just outing myself as trans. I eventually did wear it at Pride.
Oh, I thought we got rid of it.
I wore it at something.
Okay.
I forget what it was, but it was something suitably queer.
Because you see that, I've seen that shirt. I've seen it at Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I've seen it in Pride marches. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I at a certain point, I don't want to out myself as necessarily trans. I kind of like the flag for that purpose.
Yeah.
Of that it is a little...
It's esoteric.
It's esoteric. It's almost a code.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think I have actually known... I had coworkers or something where I had something transy, and they were like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "It's the trans flag." And they're like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know there was a trans flag." So I think it still is a little bit of a secret code.
It's a
secret code, yeah. And even when Time Magazine had when bathroom bills were a thing, we're still...
They still are a thing.
Yeah, but other shit has happened that has taken up the news. So...
Oh, my Lord.
There is a horse loose in the hospital.
I hate this timeline.
Me too. It's the darkest timeline.
No, there's worse ones, but I don't like this one very much.
Yeah, I was just referencing Community. But it's... Yeah, even Time Magazine had a rainbow flag for trans issues. So it's not that common. It's not that a lot of people know this. Again, I am surrounded by trans people. Half the people... I'm friends with so many trans people. Half my Facebook is trans.
Your online
80% of my Instagram is trans.
Yeah.
And so I am constantly surrounded by trans people. So it's to me, it's just everyone's trans. I forget that it's virtually no one. 99% of people, or 99% plus, are not trans. Or at least not out accepting of themselves. And it takes us all a while to get there. But yeah, so I think
a secret. You got a secret code, and the construction workers aren't going to see it, and the trans men and women and non-binary people will see it.
And you can wear a trans bar shirt.
Would a person who sees that and comes up to me and says, "Oh, are you trans too?" and I say, "No, my wife is," will they feel tricked?
I wouldn't even want to say that. I would say, no, but I support transgender rights.
Would they be right and be like, "Come on, you
Why,
don't get to wear that shirt. Take that shirt off now. Give me your Gaysper shirt."
Well, I've already given you. You can say well, a trans person gave this to me. I think you can. I don't think trans people necessarily own the flag. I think that if you're...
It's your flag.
So?
You do own it. You totes own it.
Yeah, plenty of people use Jolly Rogers who are not pirates.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about.
I'm just saying, if an ally wants to wear an article of clothing with a trans flag because they want to show their support for trans people, I am okay with that.
Okay.
I know that in a community as diverse as the LGBTQ community, I'm sure there's someone who has a problem with that. I personally don't.
So if someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, are you trans?" and I can be like, "Nah, ally." And then I'm good.
In my opinion, yes. I would hope that someone would just, if they don't like it, they can be not mean about it.
I mean, if they give me a hard time, I would ask if they like podcasts and throw all the merch I'm carrying at them.
Yes.
And then they'll feel so sad that they were mean
There you
to
go.
me.
I think you can
and
say...
I would
you've
say
got,
their name on the episode.
I think I would love to hear what our readers, or I would love to hear what our listeners have to think about this. Because... I would have no problem with that. Obviously, if, Bank of America wants to put a trans flag and be we support trans rights, and, they really don't have, hiring policies.
Or what if they're extra shitty and they're like, "Transition your debt to a Bank of America fund for a lower interest rate."
Yeah, something like that, I would be pissed.
Wow,
but
I would give them every finger I have.
If you're a cis person who wants to support trans rights and you want to wear a trans flag or a trans pin or t-shirt, or sparkly silver transgender glitter pants.
Oh, I would love to see that. I don't care if you're cis or trans or anything in between. Wear sparkly silver trans pants.
Yes. I have no problem with that as a trans person. I would wonder what our listeners would say, but in my opinion, you want to show your support and you want to rock the symbol, rock the symbol.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I will wear Gaysper with pride.
There you go.
Okay, now I have a tiny follow-up question.
Okay.
So there was a perfectly good t-shirt in our house that said, I survived testosterone poisoning.
Yeah.
That you weren't going to wear other than at a Pride March. But I couldn't wear that, could I?
No, that you couldn't.
That's crossing the line.
You can't wear a shirt that's like, I am trans. I would have issues with that if you weren't trans.
You know, I had severe acne my whole life, and I still have scarring, and that is related to testosterone levels. And in fact, trans men get acne when they start on T.
Yes, but again, no.
I can't wear that shirt.
No.
I cannot wear that shirt. I can't say I'm trans.
You can't say you're trans.
I can't say my pronouns.
You know, if you want to, no one's going to call you on it.
No, there's a line though, right? So there's a point at which you can't cross it, where it is shitty.
No, it is, but people aren't going to call you on it. The only time I ever want to call people on it, and I don't, is on certain like subreddits. People are like, I'm trans, and I'm going to be like, no, you're not.
What are these? What the fuck subreddit has people pretending to be trans on it?
No, it's actually just like it's less of a thing on Reddit. Actually, I should
Instagram.
It was back in the day.
Oh,
it was people who'd use other people's photos.
Okay, that's straight up fucked up.
Yeah. And say they're trans because they want to fuck trans women usually.
Chasers. Yes.
Yeah.
Refer to our Chasers episodes, links down below.
Yes.
I'm not going to wear the I survived testosterone poisoning t-shirt, even though my acne was not great.
Yes,
but that's
fine.
A different struggle.
Unless you want to fill a syringe with liquid testosterone and inject it to see if you survive or not, a la a Frankenstein-esque experiment, then you could wear that shirt, but I need to see, like, really serious experiment.
That is a pretty good shirt, but I'm gonna not do that.
Okay. Yeah. No, so I think, again, my opinion, I can only speak for myself and for the people who have sworn to follow every word I say.
The Fathians.
The Fathians. I am your leader, come to the temple.
There are pickles.
I think that I would be like, awesome. That's
Wearing
awesome
the flag,
that you're supporting.
Showing support.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Using the flag to sell things, not awesome. But I think
pretending to be trans, not awesome.
Not awesome. Okay. But supporting trans people and showing that you're willing to support trans people, that's awesome.
Okay.
I do have one slight caveat, though.
Good.
And that is my caveat. As my dog said, for those of you who don't speak Canaanese, actually they speak New Reformed Canaanese.
Yeah, American Canaanese.
Yeah. If you're going to wear that, you better put your money where your t-shirt is.
Yeah, you better put your vote where your t-shirt is. And
you better stand up for trans rights whenever you see someone try to trample them.
And if you hear that attack helicopter joke, motherfucker, you better say something.
I've said what I think about that attack helicopter joke.
Do it. Go
down to the airport and start
go.
Drinking aviation fuel and live on a tarmac.
I support you.
I am not
fully.
stopping you.
Yeah.
No one is stopping you.
I hate people.
I hate people.
But too. I love you.
Oh, I love you.
And I love our listeners.
You're a people. So and our listeners are a people, except of course for our listeners on, Trappist 29
and
which
Zebulon
is
4.
Yeah. They're a whole other thing. I shouldn't have said Trappist because that is a planet. I mean, that is a star system that actually had a bunch of habitable planets, but trap is kind of a derogatory term for trans people.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
We love you, listeners.
Can we say like Tabby Star instead?
Are you going to say that whole sentence over again?
No.
Let's do it.
You can actually leave this in.
Okay.
Or all our listeners in Tabby Star.
All of our listeners in any star system.
Yeah.
When you get this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, this is all online. This isn't on radio.
No, we're building.
Never.
Kath and I are going to go down to and hijack Arecibo. Just send some bursts out.
To send.
Why do you think we go down to Puerto Rico for vacation? It's not because there's beaches and history and good food and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's because we're doing
broadcasting
research.
Episodes out into the cosmos. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, every being, and every concept.
Yep. Thank you all very much. All right. Bye. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com or find us on Twitter @TheGenderRebels.
Music for The Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
Gender Rebels is a From Back Sync production, copyright 2019. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye!